Tracking our last band of showers, getting ready for a beautiful Friday. What about the weekend? I'll have the details coming up in a few minutes.
Also tonight on Connecticut's news station, a no confidence vote for the state police commissioner and deputy commissioner, while the troopers union accuses them of creating an environment of mistrust.
Also, another cyber attack in Connecticut. This time, a local school district joins two healthcare systems as victims look at the growing threats happening online.
Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And we start tonight on the Weather Watch. Rain showers are moving out right now, but they're not going far. It looks like the roller coaster weather pattern we've been riding all summer is still with us. Good evening. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Thanks for joining us. After a wet evening across Connecticut, looks like tomorrow will be drier. As far as the weekend go, that's really what we're looking forward to, and that's where things change.
Yeah, let's check in with meteorologist Sam Samperi now for a first look at the forecast. Sam?
We can't even buy 3 days in a row of nice weather this summer. You know, we get 1 or 2 days, and then here comes the next front. Good news, everyone. We did not have any severe weather across Connecticut. There were a couple of severe weather cells off to our south, but for us, this is the last batch of showers with the cold front now that is moving in, and that cold front is going to change our weather mass in a big way. And I think I'm going to have to go off camera quickly and fix the little computer. And we're going to move along here with live Doppler radar, and also we're going to put it into motion. And when we put it into motion, we should be able to get some of that shower activity to move right along. See, there we go. Now, those showers will pull on out. You see up to the north and west, high pressure will be building in. Look what's going to happen by tonight, tomorrow. We're going to get back into that beautiful weather. Clearing out, lows by tomorrow morning, averaging into the low 60s, and a beautiful Friday, mostly sunny and pleasant. High temperatures topping out 75 to 80. Yes, I'll be back in a few minutes. We'll have the all-important weekend forecast, and we'll look into next week. How long will our roller coaster ride go for? I'll have the details in a few minutes. And a big change in the Hurricane Center's weather prediction for hurricanes. I'll have all the details on that update as well. Guys?
All right. Thank you, Sam. We're following some breaking news from Meriden, a crime spree in the city involving several stolen motor vehicles.
A very complex investigation going on here with multiple crime scenes unfolding. Police say several agencies have been searching for a stolen car that was involved in a crash on South Broad Street. That car was suspected of being used in 3 different armed robberies across the state today. That vehicle also suspected of driving head-on at Meriden police officers and pedestrians. Police say they located 3 stolen vehicles and suspects at Hubbard Park, and when they got closer to the suspects, they lit one of the cars on fire and then took off in the other 2 vehicles.
Well, as you can tell, it's a very complex crime spree here, a very complex investigation going on. Meriden police are expected to discuss this more tomorrow morning. We'll get all the details for you, and we'll be sure to bring you new information as we get it.
All right, that's a wild one. All right, new at 10 tonight, the leaders of Connecticut State Police Union give a vote of no confidence to the State Police Commissioner and Deputy Commissioner.
The union is calling for their resignations amid the ongoing investigation into tens of thousands of potentially falsified traffic tickets.
Now, the Troopers Union held an emergency meeting for the no confidence vote today. Fox 61's Jake Garcia joins us in studio tonight to explain what's next. Jake.
Well, Brent and Sarah, in the letter obtained by Fox 61 earlier this afternoon, the Connecticut State Police Union calling for the resignation of Commissioner James Ravella and Colonel Stavros Malikas due to a lack of trust and for not standing up for the troopers not involved in the recent ticket scandal.
I'm angry, to say the least, and disappointed that the conduct is even alleged.
3 weeks after the state police commissioner and colonel testified before the Judicial and Public Safety Committees, a second union has voted no confidence in state police leadership. Last month, the State Police Lieutenants and Captains Union voted no confidence. Thursday, it was the State Police Union's turn. In a letter obtained by Fox 61, the union president stated, quote, "We no longer have any confidence in you or Colonel Malikas, who stood by idly as you allowed others to publicly make false allegations, destroy the morale of troopers, and dismantle the reputation of state police," end quote. The letter criticizes Commissioner Ravella and Colonel Malikas for not strongly publicly defending the majority of troopers during the recent traffic ticket scandal.
We will dig into those names, exonerate those who are falsely alleged, but pursue those who are falsifying these documents.
The union argues those statements made before state lawmakers implied troopers are vastly falsifying data, and the commissioner's comments did not go far enough to protect public confidence in state police.
We'll work through these records, we'll comb through them, we'll isolate those who falsified the records. We'll also tell those who didn't that they're doing a good job.
The letter from the union goes on to say, quote, "Your public comments should have communicated that you were confident that the vast majority of your troopers would be cleared of any wrongdoing." In the letter, union leadership also accuses Commissioner Ravella and Colonel Malikas of looking out for themselves rather than the troopers they lead. The letter reads, quote, "How could anyone work for a commissioner and colonel who choose their own survival over standing up for due process and the good men and women that risk their lives for the state of Connecticut?" At the July informational meeting held by state lawmakers, Commissioner Ravella said he was focused to find a solution.
I'm committed, along with the colonel, lieutenant colonel, and the entire command staff of the state police, of fixing this problem.
Now, we have also learned tonight that the Connecticut State Police Union has filed a lawsuit to keep the names of those being looked at in the investigation from being released to the public, citing safety and integrity of due process. We reached out to the Connecticut State Police for comment on this story, but they declined. In studio, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Jake, thank you. Well, tonight, Hartford police are searching for 3 people accused of targeting a man in a deadly shooting. This happened on Barber Street just before 10 last night. We know 1 man has died. Officers say surveillance video shows Teron Nixon walking when he sees 3 men waiting for him. And that's when police say the men pulled out guns and started shooting at Nixon.
Clearly very dangerous individuals, a lot of gunfire, a lot of ammunition, a lot of casings recovered. Very violent attack. He's not somebody that I want in the community. So any help in getting these individuals out of the community would be greatly appreciated.
Police also say Nixon pulled out a gun, tried to shoot at the suspects, but none of them appeared to have been hit. Nixon died at the hospital. Anyone with information about what happened should call Hartford Police.
Major takedown in New Haven. Police say they've arrested 6 men believed to be part of a gang. They're accused of being in the Exit 8 gang, named after the area it covers off the I-91 exit. Investigators say the men are charged with racketeering and conspiracy charges, drug trafficking, murder, and attempted murder. Police say these members committed at least 10 murders and 10 attempted murders since as far back as 2018.
This is a wake-up call. They made a choice. They didn't have to pull that trigger. They decided to. At any moment, they could have thought about it, but they didn't.
If convicted, at least 2 of the 6 could face up to 60 years in prison.
The second suspect in a West Hartford shooting that killed a man and injured a police officer is rearrested for reckless driving. 47-year-old Lyle Salisbury was in court today for that charge. Earlier this week, Salisbury was accused in a stolen car and police shooting incident. It happened on New Britain Avenue Tuesday. The person he was with was shot and killed. After police claimed they did not cooperate, that investigation is ongoing.
The Hartford mother, whose 2-year-old son died by falling out a 3rd-story window, faced a judge today. Tabitha Frank's court appearance was brief. Her case was continued until next month. The Hartford mom's charged with manslaughter and risk of injury to a child. A few weeks ago, her toddler, Cornelius Williams, died after falling out the window of the family's apartment in Hartford. Frank spoke outside court today alongside family and supporters who say the tragedy was an accident and was not her fault.
Actually agreeing that it may have not been what everybody assumed it was. I just want to say I appreciate those who've been here with me fighting this battle.
Frank is still asking for help to pay for the little boy's burial. She's due back in court September 12th. New at 10, cybersecurity attacks are impacting several organizations across the state.
Yeah, in New Haven, hackers managed to steal $6 million from the city school system.
Fox 61's Gabby Molina spoke to a cybersecurity expert tonight about the recent attacks across the state. She joins us live from New Haven with more. Gabby, what are you learning?
Well, Brett and Sarah, apparently these attacks can happen very easily. That's according to experts who say that all of these recent ones that we've seen here in Connecticut point to just how easily it can happen. Hackers making off with $6 million that belong to New Haven Public Schools.
Somebody needs to answer for the fact that they have stolen from the children of New Haven Public Schools. City officials say the hackers gained access to the school system's chief operating officer's email
and kept a close eye on conversations.
This was a case where someone quite clearly had access to his email and was watching and then inserted themselves at a time when there was the potential approval for a payment.
The FBI has recovered $3.6 million of the stolen funds, but the effort to recover the rest and find who's responsible is still ongoing. It's a tough task, given how sophisticated and complex these attacks can be.
They study who are the people in the organization. They study who their partners are. They are so good at coming up with these attack methods. They are truly unbelievable.
Frederick Scholl is the director of the cybersecurity program at Quinnipiac University. He says the method used in this case is called business email compromise. In other instances, it's malware attacks that can have widespread impacts on an organization's computer system.
It's very hard to find out where it is across the entire system. And so that can take a huge amount of time and money to restore the systems, and you're never 100% sure.
He says that's what may have happened to the Eastern Connecticut Health Network and Waterbury Health. Both health systems are still reporting impacts to some of their services related to a ransomware attack that happened a week ago.
Unfortunately, there's so many ways hackers can get in, and the attack techniques are being automated.
Danbury Public Schools also reporting a data security breach of its network, where faculty and staff information may have been compromised. Scholl says all of these incidents underscore how important it is for organizations to be cyber aware and prepared.
You can't say you're not going to be attacked, you are going to be attacked, so you have to be prepared on how to recover from the attack.
Experts encourage organizations to have constant education and awareness around cybersecurity and to be ready at a moment's notice to respond when a cyber attack does happen. Live in New Haven, Gabby Molina, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.